Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video here. So recently, Benny Johnson, right-wing commentator, made an appearance on the Piers Morgan show, and he got absolutely dog-walked. I don't know how else to put it. Just completely exposing himself as a Republican propagandist. I mean, it was one of the most insane things I've ever seen. And frankly, it's kind of symbolic of where the media ecosystem is today, where a lot of these people, they don't care about the truth. They don't care about the news. They care about supporting their side at all costs, especially in a case like this where the Trump administration accidentally leaked classified information in a group chat telling war plans to a reporter. Benny Johnson couldn't even concede that this was like even a big deal. Like, oh, it's no big deal. And then he goes into conspiracy theories saying, you know what, maybe this was a hoax. Maybe it was all part of a plot to get into the group chat to expose the Trump administration. Total conspiratorial bullshit. Okay, that's what it was. Total conspiratorial bullshit is what Benny Johnson was pushing today. And good on Piers Morgan absolutely calling it out. You have Anna Kasparian and Brian Taylor Cohen, the co-panelists, also calling it out, where you had Brian Taylor Cohen, and we're going to show you the clips. Brian Taylor Cohen was like, you know what? Because he was asked by Benny Johnson point blank, hey, what about the Hillary Clinton email scandal and the Joe Biden classified information? Is that wrong? And again, these guys are a little more genuine and authentic, and they're like, yeah, that was wrong. Like, they don't care about calling it out. But Benny Johnson's entire job is to defend the Trump administration at all costs. So people who watch Benny Johnson, they don't get the news; they get Republican propaganda. That's just it's just the truth. Okay, that's what it is. It's a disgrace. It's utter lunacy, and Piers Morgan does a great job of calling it out. And we're going to get to the first clip here of Piers Morgan grilling Benny Johnson on this, and Benny just completely exposing himself. Here's the first clip, and we'll talk about it after. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, by the way. Subscribe. It's so important to the channel, and it helps that immensely, and it's cost you absolutely nothing. Please subscribe. Patreon link in the description as well. Amazon links that I use are in the description as well if you want to check that out. Thanks so much for watching. Here's the first clip.
Probably because you're in DNI denial.
There's another D. There's another D. You got me, Piers.
It's DNI for denial. Self-denial is what you're in, Benny.
Okay, let me put this to rest. If you think I'm going to sit here and state that it was somehow wise or smart for an individual to add Jeffrey Goldberg, somebody who's pushed and pumped every single Trump hoax, including but not limited to getting us into the Afghanistan, Iraq wars, hoaxes about the 51 intel experts, the suckers and losers hoax. If you think that I'm going to sit here and defend that and say that that was wise to do that, or that these conversations should have been had on Signal, I don't think they should have been, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to defend that.
Okay,
right?
fair enough.
What I am going to do is say that there's people in. I don't think that was smart. In what universe would it be wise to add the guy who ran the suckers and losers hoax to your group chat for Trump?
Right. So in what universe? So my response would be, and it would be a question you would ask.
Wise, right.
Well, yeah, but my response to that would be, and I'll bring in the other panel members very shortly. My response to that would be, if it was the other way round, and this was under the Biden administration, you wouldn't just be saying it was unwise or a mistake.
Oh, you mean?
You would say,
Oh,
yeah,
you mean?
hang on.
Yeah.
I haven't asked you a question. You would say, hang on a second. The National Security Advisor for the United States of America added a journalist that hates Trump and the administration to a highly classified, probably illegal, because they're not supposed to do that on Signal, conversation about an imminent attack on foreign soil involving American military. You would demand that. Hang on. Here's the question.
That's not up to you, pal.
Here's the question.
It's not up to you.
Here's my question.
Here's
my question for you. You would have said that National Security Advisor should be fired, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, hold on. So Mike Waltz has gone on TV and he's been in front of a ton of reporters saying that he doesn't know this guy and he doesn't have his contact information. He's never met him. And President Trump last night said that it was one of his staffers.
So the National Security...
Exactly.
To be clear. Hang on.
Like, the story is not cut and dry.
Waltz himself said on Laura Ingraham it wasn't one of the staffers, it was him, right? So he added this person and then said, you know what may have happened here? I just think the guy's name and number were the wrong way. It wasn't the right person to the right number. This guy's the National Security Advisor for the United States of America. He doesn't even know how to make his contacts list on his phone secure.
So
should he be fired?
Again,
yes or no? Before I bring the others in.
That's not up to me, man. That's up to President Trump, and he says no.
Okay.
President Trump says no. He's not my employee.
Okay.
And also, there's so much going. There's so many other things.
All right,
going
I'm going to come to other things.
Technical glitch.
All right.
Because they're bringing in Elon Musk.
We're going to bring that stuff in.
We're going to get to the hoaxes, and the fact that they had a lawsuit ready to go, like the day afterwards, and it leaked the day before the Senate panel. And then that lawsuit gets given to Judge Boasberg. I don't know, man. How many coincidences do you believe in, Piers? Is this like some Christmas miracle for Democrats that need one right now?
Okay, so again, you see the game plan there. Minimize it and then deflect to conspiracy theories. That's exactly what he's doing. Because he's basically says, and Piers brings up a great point, and he's like, If this was Joe Biden and his administration who did this, you would be calling for their firing, not just, oh, this isn't a big deal. It's a mistake. He would be calling for their firing and arrest, which Piers didn't bring up. I'll bring it up. He will be calling for their arrest. There is zero question in my mind that would be happening, and any denial of that is ridiculous. So Benny Johnson has his agenda. And then at the end there, he's so completely insane where he says, you know what? It's a conspiracy. It was all planned out by the deep state to get involved and basically expose the Trump administration. Well, first of all, even if there was, that's absurd to say that, but even if that was true, they're still texting classified information in a Signal group chat. And the idea that it wasn't classified information, why not just post it on Twitter a couple hours before the attack where you're going to hit? Utter lunacy, complete BS. Of course it's classified. Are you kidding me? You have Tulsi Gabbard and the CIA director, I think, who perjured themselves, in my opinion, because they said it wasn't classified information. If war plans or attack plans aren't, which again, the idea that, it was only attack plans, not war plans. What? Okay, so attack plans, that is probably the most classified thing I can possibly think of. Attack plans. What are we even talking about here, guys? Completely insane, utter lunacy, and this guy is just exposed. I mean, if you look at this and you're like, you know what? Benny Johnson is killing it. You might just be a lost cause. I'm sorry. That is just pathetic. It is utter patheticness, and the fact that you can't even condemn your own side when they're so obviously wrong, and this is criminality. And then they're just lying about it. They're not even conceding they're wrong. Not even the Trump administration. They're lying about it and saying, "Yeah, we did nothing wrong." Where it was all screw this guy, Jeffrey Goldberg. He has other hoaxes. Utterly embarrassing. It's a disgrace and it's an embarrassment to this country. What a joke. And then they talk about another issue later in the show. They discuss the Mahmoud Khalil, the Palestinian student who was arrested because he's opposes Israel. And Piers Morgan brings up a great point. I'm like, wait a second. Isn't the right wing been saying they love free speech for years now? Right? Hasn't Benny Johnson and a lot of these conservatives go on saying they love free speech, and these same people are the ones who love this deportation? They're at no problem with it at all. What exactly is up with this? I haven't heard anything from like the Joe Rogan types of the world who apparently can't stand the left because they're anti-free speech. Has he brought this up at all? I'm going to say no, because they actually don't care about free speech. It's not about free speech, guys, if you haven't noticed that. It's about your side winning. The idea that Rogan is some independent thinker and these Republicans are independent thinkers is lunacy. It's free speech when they agree with it and they don't care about actual free speech and the purpose of the First Amendment. What a disgrace. Here's a clip of Benny Johnson getting destroyed, and we'll talk about it after.
If I'm in America. Correct. And so Barack Obama saved me for the gleeful American nation by saying I was entitled under my First Amendment right, even though I'm not a citizen, to be critical of the Second Amendment. And so I was allowed to stay. So
I thought you were allowed to stay.
I did get exactly the same rights to free speech that you did in your country. And I was very grateful, by the way. Brian.
I thought you were allowed to stay because you played the Pigeon Lady in Home Alone 2, and it's a classic.
Right.
Benny's wrong. The Supreme Court has ruled that guests here are entitled to rights under our Constitution while they're here as well. And look, the truth is that if we are actually abiding by this idea,
attacking students, right, and like attacking universities and barricading yourself. I mean, that's not a right under the Constitution. I'm saying that
physically attacking or verbally.
I'm saying it's bad behavior if you're a guest in a country. That's all I'm saying. I'm a massive free speech proponent. I'm not going to sit here and say, you should be kicked out because of your speech. I'm talking about a series of criminal behavior.
Yeah, you kind of are, Benny. Come on, you are. You're saying if you're a guest in the United States and you say something we don't like, we're going to throw you out.
Man, I didn't want to get caught in this because I do not know. I will tell you straight out. There's a lot of people that are experts in what's his name?
Mahmoud Khalil.
Okay, so there's a lot of people that are experts in everything he's ever done. I'm not one of them. All right. So and there's a lot of so I'm not one of them. So I'm not really going to argue for or against this guy, to be honest with you.
No, but you're saying if a guest behaves badly, you should be allowed to throw them out. And as Brian rightly points out,
riots,
you are kind of saying if you don't like what he says, you can kick him out.
The riots at the schools were criminal. The barricading of the schools, the threatening of students, the threatening of teachers, the smashing of the doors. This is criminal behavior.
If you break the law,
if you're a guest here,
law, no, hang on. If you're a guest in America and you break the law, absolutely that's grounds for deportation. There is no evidence that Mahmoud Khalil has broken the law, which is a pretty significant part of this. He's just been targeted, and Marco Rubio hasn't even tried to use that argument. All he said is, if he had said on his green card application that he supported Hamas, he wouldn't have been allowed in. But then it comes to, is there any actual evidence he has openly supported Hamas? There doesn't so far.
I mean, what else is there really to say? I mean, that it's just completely embarrassing. I mean, you know what? If you don't act accordingly in the country you're a guest, you can be deported. And Piers makes a great point, actually. It's No. Green card holders do have the same rights. You've heard that talking point a lot from the right wing that, oh, no, you don't have the same rights. You actually do. Green card residents actually do have First Amendment rights. So it's BS. And the point at the end where Piers says, and he's actually incorrect about this, where he says, oh, there's no evidence he was supporting Hamas. Even if they were, that's still under First Amendment protections. Okay. So it doesn't even matter. Regardless, Benny Johnson said, oh, they're committing crimes. Mahmoud Khalil was not even accused of that. He was not. Even the Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that is not. We're not accusing him of a crime. We're accusing him of speech we do not like against Israel. That's what it is. That's what. And it's not just Mahmoud Khalil. We talked about it the other day. You can check out some of the videos where we covered a bunch of students being detained and picked up by plainclothes people because they are against Israel. Completely and utterly lunacy, guys. This is not normal. This is not normal. Wake up. What a disgrace this is. Unbelievable stuff. That's what I got for you guys today. I thought Benny Johnson got absolutely walked on. I mean, just a disgraceful performance. Piers Morgan absolutely dog walked him. And yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Make sure to like and subscribe again. Subscribe. It is super good for the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're trying to get up there in the algorithm. We're getting really good growth over the last few weeks. I really appreciate it. Patreon link, Amazon links in the description if you want to support the channel that way. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.